let's say we have our pivot table exactly the way we want it, and we're ready to share it with the world. Let's get it ready for prime time. We can start by adding some formatting. Since this is money, I can select these cells, go up to my toolbar here, and choose currency, just to give it decimal places and dollar signs. I'm going to make these columns a little wider to get rid of those hash marks. I can also edit these row labels here and column labels just so they make a little more sense. If I double click here, I can type, I'll say purchaser in this case, and for column labels I'm going to call this amount spent, just so it makes sense to the people who are looking at it. This sum of amount, that might not make that much sense to people, so I could even just leave it blank, just type a space. If I want, I can pick a different color scheme for this pivot table. If you're using Office 2011, you have this new ribbon. And if I go up to the Pivot Table tab in the ribbon, I have the Pivot Table Styles section here. And all I need to do is just click on these styles. To change the color scheme, I can click this arrow here to get a larger view of what my options are. I'll go for something blue. Under the row and column section here, you can add banded rows, which just gives you lines in between each row or column. It's up to you how you want it to look. If I wanted to do a different pivot table using the same data but maybe showing it a little bit differently, I can actually just select and copy and paste this pivot table. I'm just going to select it and choose copy, and then click a blank cell down here and choose paste, and it gives me a new pivot table that I can adjust independently of the other one. Let's say I want to switch this one to showing us the vendor. I could just switch it like that, and this way you can give people a couple different views of the data. If I want to change this data into something that's editable by me, right now I can't edit one of these numbers because it's tied to the original data. If I double click one of these cells, it actually creates a new worksheet for me that just has a summary of the data contained within the cell I just clicked. So it's showing me just the transactions that counted toward this total. If I want to make this something I can edit and use somewhere else, though, I can select it, copy it. I'm going to select a blank cell down here, and then I'm going to right click and choose Paste Special. And here, if I choose values, paste values, it's just going to paste the values, just the numbers. It's not going to paste the background formulas that are creating the table. So if I click OK, I now just have this kind of flat data that I can edit and do whatever I want with.